This is the deep dive of Season 6 of the Football Warriors Fantasy Football League with your host, Commissioner Romocop.
All right, we're back again, taking a look at Season 6 of the Football Warriors Fantasy Football League with your host, Commissioner Romocop. And let's get right into this. As you can see here, 2019, Season 6, the champion was Dusk Till Dawn, played in the Super Bowl against Team Greenwood, and that was located in Miami, Florida. This is when we started fully assigning locations to Super Bowls on the other side of things on the Facebook page. But let's take a look. All right, as you can see here, 2019, the last year before COVID happened and changed the entire world. As you can see, 2020 is coming up, but first, we're taking a look at 2019, the year before everything went to hell. Let's take a look. That's our final standings there. We see that Mr. Bo had a fantastic season going 12-1 and winning the Super Bowl. But let's look inside of here and check out all the little details. We'll start with, if this thing will load up here, we'll start with the standings for regular season, the divisions, the Eastern and the Western Conference. As you can see, our two Super Bowl participants won their division this season, Season 6. And met in the Super Bowl. That's not always the case. It's not a requirement, but it's kind of cool when that does line up like that. And looking around, I see a question mark phantoms there. That's fun. Why is that question mark, you say? Because this dude changed his name. So, yeah. Who knows what his team name is? I guess that's why the question marks are there. And I'm sure he'll change his team name a few more times in the future history, but we're looking at Season 6 here, so the question mark Phantoms were looking for a location. But that's not our story here. We did regular season there. Season stats, just a quick look. Obviously, well, it doesn't always, like I said, happen. The top scoring teams went to the Super Bowl. Imagine that. And pretty bunched up in here. Bottom 1500, 1600, 17, 18, 19. That's nice. Doesn't look like too crazy every year. Points against, nobody's over 2,000, so, or 1,900. So that's good, for keeping everybody close. Let me figure out what I'm doing today here. It's my first day. Clearly. Here we go. Okay, there's the Super Bowl from Miami. Dusk Till Dawn, 283. Team Greenwood, 275. A difference of 8 points. That would be the closest Super Bowl until the future, which I'm not looking ahead. But it would start not a good run, but it would start most of these Super Bowls becoming rather interesting and close last second or last few hours of the matchup, however you want to say it. But it would cause these to be nail biters for some reason. We've seen most of these Super Bowls ever since this take off that way, which I guess probably is going to continue in the future. All right, let's see. The Blinking Phantoms thing is cool. I'll give Mr. James Murray that. It's cool to have them animated, flashing and whatever. Question mark Phantoms would have been fun on a trophy too, because that's exactly what would have shown up on his trophy if he was the one in the winners bracket there. Um, let me go back. Let's see. Who's going to cooperate this time? Go into the draft recap. Um, well, look at that. The first thing I'm shocked about is the draft date. It's Friday, August 30th at 7:45 p.m. And I believe that exactly happened just like that. So nothing before 2019 was accurate on ESPN here, because we certainly did not draft at noon or whenever it said we were drafting. This one looks legit. Our drafts are, on Fridays around that time. Um, so I'm going to be very happy with that. So maybe just from here on, it will be keeping track of really when we had the draft and whatever. Um, let's see, keepers. Gonna, I mean, nothing is surprising until you get to number 6. I'm not trying to be mean. Baker Mayfield. That's hilarious. Win some, you lose some. Not to clown on Baker. OU quarterback clearly is an Oklahoma legend. At least a recent high-profile Oklahoma football player. Um, but for the NFL, it hasn't quite worked out that way. That's how things go. I'm not sure who else James could have decided to keep there, but clearly Baker did not work out there. It's pretty safe to say. The rest of these guys don't look half bad. Todd Gurley had to go and retire, which is kind of weird to think about. But other than that, uh, everything makes pretty good sense. Sorry, James, didn't mean to pick on you there, but I'm sure you would want that one back if you could go in a time machine back to 2019. All right, now let's start down this journey here. The draft begins here with the Stormtrooper Academy selecting Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints running back. That's pretty solid there. It's followed by DeAndre Hopkins, Le'Veon Bell, Julio Jones, and Devontae Adams. Pretty standard top 5 there, at least from a few years ago. Tyreek Hill to the question mark Phantoms. Good selection. I ragged him for his keeper, but I'll give him his credit there. Tyreek had quite a run on the Phantoms franchise, and that pick should be celebrated. Unlike David Johnson to the Bowie Desert Stallions, who no longer play in this league, um, which is fun. That was his selection there. And then my horrible selection of Juju Smith-Schuster to pick on myself. Win some, you lose some, I guess. And then we finish up with picks 9 and 10, which went to Team Greenwood with James Conner, and then Victoria's Secret with Antonio Brown. And if I remember correctly, that year, that wasn't a stellar year for Antonio Brown. All right, so it flips around. Victoria's Secret is back on the clock with Mike Evans. Then Damian Williams from the Chiefs and Nick Chubb. I'm starting to remember a couple of flashbacks to this draft night as we're getting closer in years to the modern time. It's getting a little easier to remember some of these. This one feels kind of like it was that long ago, but I can remember it a little bit easier than some of these other ones. Travis Kelce to the no longer here Stallions. Great pick. Clearly. And yes, he had Patrick Mahomes as his keeper. I was getting confused with the prior one. Yeah, because he had the Kansas City duo of Mahomes and Kelce 2 straight years and did nothing with them, which is pretty fun. You wouldn't think so, but this game is random like that. And even if you think you've got, all the answers, sometimes you don't. Um, what's next? Adam Thielen, Zach Ertz, Devonta Freeman. I mean, this is pretty solid. Nothing sticking out here to me. Julian Edelman, uh, fine. Keenan Allen, Robert Woods. I mean, all that makes sense for that time period. Trying to think back that far, nothing really stands out there. The Damian Williams one, obviously, probably not the best in that round. I'm going to highlight what I think is not the best one in each round. I think that's what's going to be fair unless something crazy pops up. The next round, Mike has flipped around. We've got Amari Cooper. Then next is on Johnson, which, without even looking ahead, is going to be the worst pick of this round. Not to be mean to on Johnson, but that dude had no career at all. Brandon Cooks, trying to be on every team in the league in real life and in fantasy, heads to Andrew's team, Princess Meow Meow. Tyler Lockett to Dust Till Dawn. Definitely not a surprise there. Leonard Fournette going to the question mark Phantoms. Super not a surprise because Leonard Fournette is still holding James Murray hostage at that point, I'm sure, with a gun or a weapon to his head. Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Melvin Gordon, Mark Ingram. Nothing crazy there. On Johnson definitely gets the Tullet Award for that round. Round 5. Let's see. That's tough. This is kind of where it starts to get dicey early in any draft. Most of these dudes are solid. Stephon Diggs, pretty good. Chris Carson, not so good. Tariq Cohen. I'm torn between Cohen or Philip Lindsay as the worst pick in this round, back to back. And really, it's funny. Hindsight is 2020, and it's really clear to pick on and analyze something from years ago, but not so easy when you're doing the actual draft. Personally, and Kenny Galladay is horrible, but he is in the future, so I can't call that horrible here because he was still serviceable. OJ Howard probably still more serviceable than Lindsay or Cohen at that point. I'm going to put it on Tariq Cohen, though. It's probably the worst one in that round at that time. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. All right. Next round looks better to my untrained eye, or whatever you want to call it. Overall, looks pretty solid. Kind of funny how that goes. Looking down the list here, trying to decide between Kenyon Drake and Josh Gordon as the worst selection in this round. I don't know. I'm going to say Kenyon Drake made the field more than Josh Gordon. So I'm going to have to say, sorry, Phantoms. You're going to get the thumbs down on that round. Um, best pick? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, there's no format to this at all. I probably should do best pick and worst pick. Cooper Cup. Sadly, to the not here anymore Stallions. Pretty good team he had there to do nothing with. But that's how it goes. Next round. All right, D.D. Westbrook. That's going to get the thumbs down. Marlon Mack, that's tough. I think Mack at least took the field. D.D. Westbrook on and off the field. Austin Eckler, hell of a pick there. So that round, I'm going to give Brittany the thumbs down and Mark the thumbs up. That's how I'm going to do this. I'm winging it on the fly. Not too bad there. But those are back to back at the top of the round, so that's fun. Next round. Trying to scan it real fast. Let's say not horrible. It's hard to figure out this one. Let's go James White as the worst pick, which really isn't super horrible back then. Best pick is tough. I don't fully remember everything there. Not going Marvin Jones Jr. because, of course, he would be on the Phantoms team. I'm going to give the thumbs, I don't know, probably Deshaun Watson, even though that's before he had his own little thing there. I'll just leave it at that. That's probably the best pick of that round from back then. Let's see. Next one, round 9. Dang, I was about to give myself the thumbs down for Duke Johnson. Then I noticed his neighbors, Darius Geis and Darwin Thompson. That's funny and tough. Vance McDonald, not so great there either. It looks like we all took a lot of swings and misses in this round. Not Latavius Murray. Tevin Coleman was still on the field at that point. Darius Geis is a piece of trash. I think I'm going to have to. I mean, Darwin, at least he got on the field and wasn't a total piece of trash like Darius Geis was. So I'm going to give the thumbs down to the criminal that the not here anymore Stallions drafted. And I'm going to give the thumbs up to probably nobody. We're all going to take the thumbs down. We'll give it to Robbie Anderson for Victoria's Secret there, just because. Round 10. Now, these really aren't that bad. You're going to have your spots in the draft that are better than others. Well, this round already seems better than the last one, so that's good. Looking quickly, torn between my own pick there of Marquez, too long of a name, or Dante Moncrief, pretending to look like an NFL wide receiver. And this has just turned into some kind of roast of former NFL players and current NFL players. I'm going to be a homer and give Dak Prescott the thumbs up here for Callie Zakatash, Tash's team. I'm going to give the thumbs down to Dante Moncrief. It could have been either one. And I'll give Mark the thumbs down for that round, just for fun. Round 11. Let's see. Well, very quickly, Peyton Barber is Royce Freeman. Maybe that wasn't so fast. Let me think there. The thumbs down should be for the Bears defense, so the question mark Phantoms. But I'm just going to overlook that. And I'm going to say the thumbs down is headed this round to damn. It's really tough between Barber and Freeman. And I don't fully remember that far back. I'm going to say Royce at least. We got a spot starter too. So I'm going to go Peyton Barber on the thumbs down to Tasha. And the thumbs up, probably Thomas Brady to Dust Till Dawn. Brady had nowhere near fallen off at that. I guess he's never fallen off. He just retired. But that's a solid pick there. Round 12. Let's see. Oh. Justice Hill was about to get it. My guy there, Henderson, not so great. Kiki Kuti. That dude, he had a couple of games where he looked like something, but, that didn't last. Geronimo Allison, not so great. This is a bad round, I think. I'm going to give the thumbs up to Cortland Sutton for the Stormtrooper Academy. And the thumbs down is very hard. It's like a three-way tie there, I think. I'll take the thumbs down. Henderson wasn't very good at all that year. I should have not done that. But, round 12, what are you going to do? Round 13. Automatically looks a little better. Oh, I didn't see Kyler Murray in the last round. I'm going to tie Stormtrooper and the Phantoms with a thumbs up. That Kyler pick was probably pretty good right there. I was looking over all the trash that was around him. Back to 13. Let's see. Man, it's going to be real hard not to thumbs down Jalen Richard, Oakland Raiders running back. That's a homer pick for Callie Zakatash. And Jalen Richard does not get points for holding a Gatorade during the second half of a game. There's no points for that, so I'm going to have to give him the thumbs down pick. And as far as a thumbs up, I don't know. It's getting rough. Russell Wilson to Princess Meow Meow. Light years better than what I'm seeing around there. That's probably good for that year. Tony Pollard's good pick. Probably not that year. He wasn't getting too much playing time back then. There was a stud in front of him. No comment on that. Round 14, pretty standard here. Adrian Peterson's still in the league, and of course, he would find his way to the question mark Phantoms, which should probably be his name. Just make it official, James. Make them the question mark Phantoms. It won't even make sense, but we'll figure something out. If Adrian Peterson's in the league, he's probably making it to James's team somehow, especially if he's washed up and past his prime. And he hasn't really officially retired, so there's still a chance, James, that you could have him on your team once again sometime. But let's see. I'm not going to – the kickers and defense, whatever. You can't say whether that's going to be good or not by then. That's fine. Dante Pettis, not so great. Him and Anthony Miller there, two guys pretending to be receivers. Golden Tate, not much better for my team. Fully will admit that. Jack Doyle and Trey Burton, pretty much the same type of dude there. But nothing crazy. I'm going to give the thumbs down to Dante Pettis because, I mean, round 14, who cares? It's late, but that dude's probably the worst in this set of players. The best pick, honestly, Justin Tucker to Princess Meow Meow's team. That's probably the best pick out of that round. Not so great around there. It's funny. It kind of is like Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Here comes the later rounds. And as I'm noticing here, this is the year we added to the draft. We've made it a little bit longer. That's fun. Just more to cover. Let's try to do this so I can get closer to wrapping this thing up. It's not time for that yet. Round 15. This is like a good round. DK Metcalf, Mark Andrews. It's one of those for the thumbs up. The thumbs down. Adam Humphries to the not here anymore Stallions. Yeah, that's pretty clear there. Thumbs up. I'm going to call it a tie between Marks, DK Metcalf, and Mark Andrews for me. I'm going to call that one a tie. That's way too close. Adam Humphries definitely the thumbs down. Next round, Mitchell Trubisky. That's fun. He's in the lead right now for the bottom of this round. Deshaun Hamilton. Well, let's see. It's going to be hard to pick a winner from this group because you never know. I'm going to go. The winner is Harrison Butker for the Chiefs just for fun. That dude most likely had a good year that year. It's kind of hard for me to go back without any research, but like I said before, it's funner this way. The worst pick, Deshaun Hamilton for instance, Meow Meow in that round. And the best pick, the kicker, Harrison Butker, Victoria's Secret. Which is funny looking ahead, where it flips because Devin Funyuns is Victoria's Secret pick at the top of the next round. And that is probably going to be the thumbs down of this round, which is fun. Oh, but now I see Albert Wilson. That's about equal. Chris Thompson, Jalen Samuels. Still probably giving the thumbs down to Devin Funyuns just because I can say his name like that instead of Funchess. That's what I always thought associated with him with was Funyuns. Was his funny looking name there. Best pick. Oh, Marquise Brown or Jameis Winston. If I remember right, that's the year Winston threw a lot of touchdowns and interceptions and yards. It's pretty good for round 17, even though the interceptions were there. So I'm going to give the thumbs up to Jameis Winston that late. The next round, Giovanni Bernard. I automatically thought that was going to be on my team, but it was not, which is fun. Kalen Balaj, that's not super. I mean, it's round 18, not trying to be mean. That happens. Josh Allen, that's pretty decent. Damian Harris and Jamal Williams, pretty good run at the end of that round. Paul Richardson, another guy trying to pretend to be a receiver. Vinatieri's probably 75 that season. Colts kicker there. I don't know. It's down to Balaj or Paul Richardson. Pretty sure I remember Balaj at least having a few games there where he actually looked like something. Paul Richardson for the Washington team, he was there to be nice. I remember him, but that's all I remember him. It's just him being there. I'm going to go Paul Richardson for the thumbs down and Josh Allen for the thumbs up. Round 18. Pretty deep in the draft for that. Round 19. Oh, Jason Witt. Respect to 82. Still in Dallas at that point, which is good. This isn't a bad round. Well, let's see. It's tough. Not personally happy with Brett Maher. I can just choose him. Danny Amendola, not super. Randall Cobb with Dallas was all right. N'Keal Harry never really did anything. I'm going to give a thumbs up to Darren Waller at Team Greenwood there. I'm going to give a thumbs down to N'Keal Harry, the Patriots wide receiver. It's a Stormtrooper Academy. Just throwing out random stuff now. Round 20, subsequently, is the number of children Philip Rivers has. Um, I could be wrong. I'm probably close. It's definitely in the teens. Who knows? 20 is probably a safe bet, even though it's probably more like 12 or 15 or 14. He's got a whole basketball team and a half or something. Let's see. Chris Conley there, the Jacksonville receiver, Victoria's Secret. That's the thumb down. That dude, just another one of those dudes. Always hanging around but never breaking through. It could be wrong. I'm going to go Tyler Eifert, Princess Meow Meow's team. I think that year was pretty decent for him. Unless that was the year he was hurt. So that's what sucks about not doing the research. But I'm still going to give it to her anyway, and we'll roll with that. Even though now I'm thinking that was the year he was hurt. And the last round, round 21. Well, there's a clear best pick. It's Debo Samuel to Princess Meow Meow team. A younger Debo Samuel, even though he's not old now. I don't know. Worst pick. Either the Lions D, because they're the Lions, or Trey Quinn, the Washington team receiver. I'm going to go Lions defense because they're the Lions. So thumbs up to Debo Samuel, thumbs down to the Lions defense for that round. And if I would have remembered how long this draft was, I probably wouldn't have did thumbs up, thumbs down. But there it is. Yeah, that's another good year. We're growing stronger every year. And it's still the case now. This is the full draft. Just went through everything. I'm not going to go through any more than that. So, yeah. Let's go back one more time. This gives us a little bit better breakdown of the points in the Super Bowl matchups, which include, all kinds of players that weren't drafted that were later added. It's pretty cool. Let's see. This would be Bo Cannon's second Super Bowl win, Dust Till Dawn, becoming the second person to win multiple Super Bowls in league history. In Super Bowl VI, Miami. I remember all the stats packages, the graphics. That was a fun time laying out Miami's tropical theme, which is kind of what I want to keep it in the warmer themes because those are funner. We'll get to the ice level here in a couple of videos, but it was cool, applying a location to the Super Bowl officially um, instead of retroactively applying it. It was cool leading up to that, and we still do that to this day. And I don't know off the top of my head if that's the only time the two division winners have faced in the Super Bowl, but off the top of my head, it feels like that's probably the case. Could be wrong on that. Don't hold me to that. But it is cool to see that happen. And of course, the probability of that happening at least once has got to be decently high because if you're winning your division you should have a pretty good chance at making the Super Bowl, even though anything can happen at any time, which is very true in this league. Um, but all right, that wraps it up for season 6 deep dive. And I will catch you all next time. Peace.